we're so excited here. We're having a lot of fun today. It's a beautiful day in Las Vegas, and you are here and manifesting your dreams. And if you've been with us before, you know we have an outstanding show for you. If you're here for the first time, we've been doing this every week. And basically, we want to inspire you to manifest your dreams, right? So we're gonna interview every week somebody that has some dreams, they went after them, they actually made them happen, and now they want to share that with you so you can get inspired too. We're doing that following as a blueprint, if you will, the book of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, where every week we cover one of the 17 principles that Napoleon Hill found out that are indispensable if you want to make things happen in your life. And one of them is the power of decision. And we are here with a lady who has applied that power all her life to make things happen. So Glen Alex right here, she is a published author. She has a master's degree. She actually has her own foundation. She's been helping hundreds, if not thousands of people with their health. An amazing human being, and I'm so excited.
Well, after
so
that
excited
intro.
that you're here with us, because you know what happens sometimes when you live a magnificent life is like you don't even realize it unless somebody tells you all the things you've done, and then you go like, is he talking about me?
I'm
Yes, because she is humble too. Okay, but if you live in Vegas, you met her before, you seen her in the show. She gets interviewed all the time. She has her own show. Okay, so you know how hard it was to get her to come and visit us today. It was like almost impossible, but we make it happen. So
well, thank you
welcome.
for your persistence. And
Welcome.
Thank you for
Persistence
having
is
me
key,
here.
right? Yes.
This
So
is
tell,
awesome.
tell our viewers a little bit about you, whatever you want to, so that way they get to know you. Because some people haven't met you yet.
Some people have not met me. Well, I was born.
There you go. That was a start, right?
That was
Where
the
was
start.
that? Where was that?
I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, California. Grew up.
Beverly Hills?
No, I grew up about 5 miles west of the Coliseum, so I was inner city.
Okay.
And please don't say South Central because there's no such thing. That's a media misnomer.
All right.
Anyway, born and raised in Los Angeles. I'm the youngest of 10.
Oh, wow.
All of my siblings are crazy. I'm the only sane one. And just had a lot of wealth of experiences growing up watching the dynamics between people, my family, neighbors, and everything. So that kickstarted me on this path to health because I would watch people interact and I could tell what the healthy interactions were versus the unhealthy ones and how people would respond when they were being hurt with words. And so that kind of kickstarted my path to health, and that has led me into social work, into massage therapy, into a charity that promotes health, and into my book, Living in Total Health. And so now I'm on a tear to assist others in being as healthy as they can be.
That is fantastic. And I'm just going to do a quick plug of the book right here because you do want to have it, livingintotalhealth.com. You can go, those of you that are type A personality, you can't wait till later. You know where you can get that book.
now.
That book is fantastic. It's very well done, very well written,
you.
and a lot of value out of it. So, and this is what we like to share with you is somebody that actually is making a difference in their community, somebody that has overcome some challenges, has some dreams, some goals, made it happen. That way you can get inspired because we know you have dreams that you haven't really gone after lately, right? Maybe you had a dream, you said, this is what I want to make it happen, and then you went for it. Timing wasn't right, something happened, and now they're in the back burner, right?
Yeah.
So we want to reawaken those dreams. We want to inspire you with a real life example. We want to give you tips, strategies, so you can make that happen as well. So tell us now, 10 children. Now you have a lot of subjects to observe and explore, right? We're just 3, and I thought I had my hands full, But my mother comes from a family of 8, so I love Italian family. I love large families. I think right now is just like it's kind of like rare to meet anybody with 3 or 4 kids. So tell us a little bit about that. How what made you different from the other 9?
Well, that's a good question. I think part of it is I don't want to say I was born different. I was just a little more attuned to something other than my physical and immediate realities. I always had an awareness that things were not just as they seemed. And I totally feel blessed having that characteristic, and that is also important in achieving any goal or reaching any dreams. Is you have to be connected with your higher self, your higher power, your intuition, if you will, and listen to it. And so I listened to that throughout my life, and even when my siblings presented something different, because you're always going to have people who want to keep you where you are just because they are more comfortable.
That's right.
And
yeah.
so you have to make that decision. Are you more interested in pleasing them or pursuing finding your calling and living into that? So it was a little bit of a struggle growing up. Well, a lot of a struggle.
It was a lot of a struggle, right?
It was a lot of a struggle because we were poor, grew up in a poor neighborhood, a lot of gangs and violence around us, and I was different. I saw it, I didn't engage in it. I didn't demean it, I didn't disrespect it, I just didn't participate in it. And so that kind of set me apart, and not to mention my mother was super protective of us, and the gangs were more afraid of her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
Don't go to the house in the corner.
Right, and they were kind of hands off with us. Although, you know, when I was away from her at school, and especially in high school, I still didn't engage in those activities or behaviors just because I knew there was more. And I wanted to find out what that more was, and I lived into that. And so, you know, throughout time, I just attracted people or found people who supported that part of me. I was still able to communicate and get along with my family and friends and neighbors and things, but I still had that other part of me that I listened to.
That is fantastic. Yeah. And you know, this is something that I have a background in psychology that I always really have in the back of my mind, right? Is that when I see people that against all odds, right, make things happen, right? It's like, is there something that innate in them? Right?
Right.
Or there's something that actually they went through that opened up their mind, that there was, or a combination of both. So it was something external that actually one moment when you were a kid, maybe somebody you met or something you saw or an idea maybe came to you, like I want to live a different life than what I've seen here. What would you say?
I think it's a combination. I think we're all born with intuition. We're all born with the ability to connect to universal consciousness, if you will, or God, if you will,
Absolutely.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
We're all born with that. Some of us just pay more attention to it than others. And so I was blessed to pay more attention to that part of me.
So there was a spiritual.
There was that spiritual connection, though I didn't know what that was at 5 years old.
Exactly. Sure.
And there were real experiences in my reality that said, hey, I do not want to live like that. So in watching those relationships where people were hurtful to each other, whether it was a romantic relationship, a sibling relationship, or a friendship, I remember saying at very specific times, I do not want to be like that. And I'm not.
That is fantastic.
So I made a decision.
That was a powerful decision,
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's why this chapter to me is one of my favorites, just the chapter. And having you here makes it even more special. But when I talk to people about Think and Grow Rich, if they know about it, they say, oh yeah, Napoleon Hill took 20 years to interview the most successful people of the time, right? And then kind of distill what made them special. But the part that most people don't remember about the book, okay, is that he also interviewed people that were failures, right? And then he learned what those people were doing and said, well, don't do that, right? And actually there's a study that is mentioned in the book of 25,000 failures. This is not like 5 people. This is not my, Uncle Larry and, my neighbor. Just imagine 25,000 people that fail, right? And what they discovered, Napoleon Hill discovered a list of 31 factors, okay, that actually had to do something in the reason that they failed. At the top of the list was lack of making decisions. In other words, procrastination, which is the opposite of making decisions. Yes. And what he found out is that people that fail, they take a long time to make a decision, right? Or they never decide, right? Or then after they make a decision, they change it very fast, right? And the people that are actually successful, they decide quickly once all the factors are there. In other words, if you don't know what you're going to be deciding about, you need to take the time to do your research, whatever, right? But then once the factors are there, they make a decision and they stick with it.
Yes.
versus just like saying, oh, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that, right? So I'm listening to you and I'm going like, oh yeah, she's, you know, at a very young age, you know, she was already making a decision.
I made a decision.
Isn't that fascinating?
That is fascinating.
And you know what I really like about it? Because I have a couple of questions for you, but we have to go into an intermission. It's like my brain is going like, this woman is fascinating. But see, this is the thing that inspires me, and it should inspire you if you're watching right now. How long does it take you to make a decision?
A split
Boom!
second.
It's just like that. Your life can change right now.
Yes.
So if you know somebody that should be listening to this, you want to tag them, okay? You want to invite them. Share this with other people, because it's not just about you, but the lives that we can change, and you can change today. You can make, actually, we want you during the show to make some decisions, things that you can take action. They don't have to be huge things.
No.
Sometimes it's a little decision that you make. Sometimes it's saying, no more, that's it, right? I'm not gonna tolerate that anymore. So you're gonna make decisions, and you are going to manifest your dreams. If you want to stay connected with us, www.manifestingyourdreams.net. Just go over there, sign up as a VIP. We have a gift for you, a PDF file that you're gonna enjoy. And we're gonna be right back, Glenn. We're gonna be right back with Glen Alex. She is amazing, and you are amazing too. So don't go anywhere. Stick around after the commercials.
Listen, check it. Trying to build a bridge, instead I burned it down. I tried to lift them up, but found me beating down to the ground. I was too weak to face my pain. Caught up in the flood that was my rain. We both moved on, but my heart remains there.
Hi everyone. Hey, this is Joseph Scotto from the Maria and Joe Live TV. And hopefully you've been staying tuned for the last several weeks or the last several months. We try to get together every Thursday and tell you what's going on for today. We'll talk about social media, we'll talk about addictions, we'll talk about parties, a little bit of everything, and try to give you a little bit what's going on in the community or in our current affairs. So make sure you join us. It's a lot of fun to join Maria and Joe on Maria and Joe Live TV. Look forward to having you there. And make sure you leave us comments and suggestions of what we can do better to serve you. So have a great day. I look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon.
Social media shows
is about
branding and opportunity
and outreach.
We are an entertainment company that empowers others
by promoting and supporting our community and everyone who reaches our content.
Here on social media shows,
Here we're a family.
We are family. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. We are family.
We are family.
We are family. We are family.
We are family.
We are family, and we want you to be part of our social media shows family.
And we are back. We're just having so much fun here. It's like our producer has to say, hey guys, let's focus on the show right here. But we are with a fascinating young lady right here, Glen Alex. She's a published author. If you just join us right now, she has her own foundation. I mean, her life is fascinating and all started in a very difficult upbringing. So we're not going to go over that because we went over that on the previous segment. So you do want to watch that. But how the youngest of 10 kids, okay, growing up in a very, very unfavorable environment, right? Fast forward and she gets her master's degree. You know, she's a published author. She has her own foundation. She has her own TV show and has helped thousands and thousands of people on their health. So today we are talking on Manifesting Your Dreams about the power of decision.
Yes.
And how important it is if you do want to manifest your dreams, because we know you have some dreams that you have in the back burner there. Maybe you put them in a drawer, and it's time to say, you know what? If I'm not going to make it happen now, when, right? Because someday, I don't know if you notice this, but someday it's not in the calendar. I look at my calendar, it's not on the digital calendar, okay, it's not in the Franklin planner, someday it's not there, right? So all we have is today, and your power to make decisions is not in the past, right? Because we can't change the ones that we made, good or bad. It's not on the future, right? Because we can't do anything, it's right now. Yeah. So decide right now one dream you have, and you say, you know what? I'm going to give it another shot, right? Yes. I'm going to give it another shot. So I'm going to ask you about this. You have a book that was published, okay? Yes. And this is something that right now I run into so many people, and they say, I want to write a book. I want to write a book, right? So having the idea is important, right?
That's the start.
But from going from there to actually having published, not just write it, because I have somebody that said, I wrote a book. I said, how can I read it? Well, I haven't even printed it yet, right? It's like you want to get it published, right? So maybe there's a book in you, or maybe there's some ideas from Glen that you can apply on another project. So tell us how you went from your idea to actually make it happen, and how you use decision to make those things happen, because there's other people that at the same time had the book that is still not published, right?
Right.
So how did you make that happen? Why don't you share that with us?
Well, it wasn't just a moment that created the book. I have 3 friends that I've had for decades, and they would always say to me, because I wrote my own newsletter, and they would always say to me,
had a newsletter,
yes,
like an email or mail?
Both, email and mail, and I would give to clients. And
good.
So these 3 friends on their own would say, when's the book coming out? You need to write a book, you need to write a book. This went on for 10 years or more. And so at the end of 2013, I went through the beginning. It was the beginning of the darkest period of my life.
Oh, wow.
And I sunk into an extremely deep depression, and through a series of events I started to come out of it about 6 months later. At that time, I was introduced to author Patrick Snow and was presented with the opportunity to write a book, and still a little fuzzy emotionally and mentally. I asked myself, well, why would I write a book? And the answer that came back, and again, listening to your intuition and your inner wisdom, was why not?
Why not? There you go.
Why not? I've always loved to write. I'm very expressive on paper, and so the talent and the inclination was always there. It was just deciding to go further with it. And so when my inner wisdom said, well, why not? I said, okay. And I started writing. I started writing. It was like a year and a half that it took to write the book, because I'm a busy girl.
Absolutely.
I'm a busy girl. Other people can write in 2 months, but because I have other things going on.
Sure, absolutely.
And the inspiration.
Well, time is going to happen anyway, right?
Yeah.
Time is going to go through anyway. So
it's going to happen anyway.
Oh, year and a half. I don't have time to do that. Well, a year and a half is going to go like that.
So fast. It passed so fast. And then going through the editing process. And then there you go, living in total health.
Voila! Voila! Le livre. Great book, Living in Total Health, right? A fantastic book. By the way, I love the way it feels and everything. It's a quality book.
Thank you.
So
we
that
wanted
also,
a Cadillac.
Yeah, we wanted the Cadillac.
Yes.
So see, this is very interesting that you said, right? Because everybody has an idea.
Everybody
right?
has an idea.
An idea. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to get into a relationship.
Yes.
Maybe I want to get out of a relationship. Maybe I want the job. Maybe I want to get out of the job, right? But it doesn't happen immediately. So it took 10 years of that marinating,
Yes.
marinating in your
Yes.
head, and then one day you said, okay, now it's going to happen,
Yes.
right? But just like you said, it's like, you know what is interesting? When you look at people that are very successful or people that we have a tendency to admire, right? Their lives look perfect.
They do.
Right? It's like, because media, unfortunately, right,
Makes it look
they
that
go
way.
like, oh my God, this artist, or there's so,
Yeah.
like, you know, something that I learned, and you from LA, I thought that actors that I like always had jobs. Right?
Right.
And then I find out this guy that I really like hasn't made a movie in
For
5 years, you know?
Yeah.
And he's going through the auditions or whatever, and he's negative and frustrated and
Yeah.
depressed. I said, no, you can't be depressed. You're my hero in that
Right,
movie, you know?
right.
So it's like everybody that you admire, you need to know this, is going through the same trials and tribulations
Yes.
that probably you are, or if you are not, you will go through, right?
Yes.
But in the you said in your darkest moment, right? Somebody will say, right? Oh, I can't write the book now because, you know, I'm nobody.
Right,
I'm
right.
down on the floor, right? Whatever,
What do I have
right?
to share?
So in the
Yeah.
same situation, you actually could make two very different decisions. You can use that situation to rationalize that it's not the right moment
Right,
because you want to
right.
be very happy and, you know, somebody that loves you
And
and
stay
be making a
stuck.
lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Or say, you know what? What did you say? Say it again.
Why not?
Why not? Why
Why
not?
not?
Why not? Right?
And if
Why
not,
not?
now when?
If not now, when? So write those things down.
Yes.
Why not? And if not now, when you're gonna do it, right?
Yes.
And then after she made the decision, it took a year and a half, right? It wasn't like instant. The decision is made instantly, but then you need to put on the work, right?
You absolutely put in the work. And I'll tell you one thing about making a decision is the commitment comes with that decision. So I had no idea it would take a year and a half to write the book.
Do you think it was gonna be shorter or
I
longer?
thought it would be shorter because
Okay.
I, had
Oh, 2 months.
I had all these ideas and I already had
Okay.
a lot of material written. Putting it together though was a different, turned out differently than I expected, though I'm really pleased with the outcome. However, the decision that I made to write the book carried me through
Yes.
the process. My commitment never wavered, even though it took longer than I anticipated.
Powerful.
Because when you make a decision, the commitment comes with it. And it's the same thing when I do a detox program. When I make the decision to do it, the commitment comes with it, and I can weather the storm of being really hungry.
Exactly.
and wanting something that I shouldn't have on that program. So don't doubt your ability to follow through. You make the decision, commit to the decision, and the rest will be revealed to you as you go through that process. You don't have to know every single detail up front.
Absolutely. And you know, so interesting that you said that, because what year did you get it published actually?
2016.
2016. So if it had taken a year and a half, or if it had taken 3 years,
Yes.
right now it wouldn't be making any difference anyway, right?
right,
Wh-
right.
Whether if it had taken 2 months or 3 months like you originally thought, or a year and a half like it took,
Yes.
or let's say it was even harder and it took 3 years, today we'll go, voila, le livre, right? The same
Right,
thing, right? It
right.
wouldn't make any difference. So this is something very powerful, and again, it is mentioned by Napoleon Hill, is that when you make a decision of what your outcome is, you want to be, and he interviewed Henry Ford, I mean, hard-headed, right?
Yes.
Thomas Edison, hard-headed, right? So those people, and right now it could be Mark Zuckerberg, it could be, you
Yeah,
know,
brilliant people.
whoever you admire today, right? So those people are inflexible in the decision of the outcome they want.
Yes.
Right? But this is the distinction that is very important. They're very flexible
In the process.
in the process.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and do you find that true to you?
I totally
Okay.
agree with that, because again, I had a different idea of what the process would be like. Once I got into it, I had to rewrite and then send it in and rewrite and do all those things. That never wavered my expectation of the outcome though. I never wavered on the outcome and of having a printed book. Yes, the process and the day-to-day tasks shifted, and that's okay. You have to be flexible and
Exactly.
be able to adjust and make adjustments. However, the end product is still the same, a printed book.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. And if you think about things that maybe were not manifested in your life, it's very likely that it was the other way around, right? You were stuck in the process,
Yes.
like I have to do it like this.
Yes,
My
yes,
relationship has
flexible.
to be like that.
Yes.
He has to be like this. So she, right? But then the outcome was like, well, you know, it could be here or it could be there, whatever.
It was hit or miss.
It was hit or miss,
Yes.
right? So this is fascinating. So any tips that you can share, things that you actually did to go through with that process? Did you use visualization, self-suggestions, anything that you done during that process?
Yes, actually, I used meditation a lot.
Okay, okay.
Meditation just to stay calm and to keep me open
Okay.
to my inner wisdom. I also would parcel off time to write. And so like first thing in the morning, maybe half an hour, I would write and just wrote whatever came up to my mind. Not,
You put it in the calendar, like I'm gonna be half an hour today writing or
I didn't
something?
put it in the calendar, I just did
in
it
your
when I woke
mental.
up. Yes.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay.
My mental
In my
calendar.
mental calendar.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And so
okay.
it was free flow
Free
writing.
flow,
It wasn't
okay.
structured. So whatever ideas came into my head, then I wrote those down, and the structure came to me later.
Okay.
So that's the way I process.
Did you type it up or you write it in? handwriting?
Both.
Both? Okay.
Both.
Okay,
I
that's
would
good.
handwrite it if I wasn't at a computer, and then later I would put it in the
Okay,
computer and make
okay.
revisions as I typed. So you have to have a way to connect with who you are. And meditation for some, yoga for others, strenuous activity for other people,
Exercise.
because that will make you focus.
Yes.
So you have to have a process to stay connected with yourself. And then a tangible strategy, like writing at a specific time, and then reviewing your work from there.
Fantastic. I have two questions to ask you.
Okay.
We're going to be right back, okay?
Okay.
But by the way, social media shows today, if you're watching this program live today, they're giving away 2 tickets, okay, for the show here in Vegas. So make sure you tag a friend, tag your friend, so if they win, maybe they take you, right?
Right.
More chances for you to win, and also for a buffet, a breakfast buffet. So read on the caption. Well, so we're gonna be right back. Don't go anywhere, okay? Because she has more to share with you. Good job, girl. Stay with us.
She wears a long fur coat of me, even in the summertime.
back. We're back. You're back. You didn't go somewhere else. So that is good because the best is yet to come. So Glen was sharing with us part of the process of actually writing the book, making it published. And I had a question for you. Because you had a process that worked for you. It took longer than you expected. And by the way, that happens every single goal I have ever achieved, okay? It always took longer, it was harder, you know, and then one time I was like, why is this happening? And this idea came to me, because the universe is in a constant state of change.
Yes.
Right? In other words, the way we are today, tomorrow things are going to change.
Yes.
People are moving, they're getting new jobs, they're getting new ideas. They're making decisions too that affect us too, right? So we're in the power of decision. So the question for you is, when you were talking, saying what you're doing, how did you hold yourself accountable? Did you have an accountability partner? Did you have somebody that you have to report to? Did you do that to yourself? Because I find accountability is actually key in reaching our goals sometimes, right?
Accountability is very helpful, and it's also very powerful to have supportive people in your life. You don't want to be surrounded around people who are constantly criticizing you, telling you that won't work for you, or in some way trying to keep you where you are.
Isn't it sad? Like sometimes people will
very
say,
sad.
like, oh, is the book ready? I told you you were
Yes,
not going to
yes.
finish it. Or some,
Yes.
and I don't know if they're bad people or they do it
They're
without
not
knowing.
necessarily bad
But
people.
it doesn't help us,
Yeah.
right? It's
yeah,
like,
no, they're not necessarily bad people. They may have the best intentions. However, we go back to psychology, because
Yes.
people are egocentric. They want what they want, and sometimes what is most comfortable for me might be to keep Pablo down. That
You're
doesn't
in
mean I
trouble,
don't.
you're in
No,
trouble.
I'm not
I
going to
know,
try.
I know.
That doesn't mean I don't love or respect. Well, kind of.
Yeah, sometimes they don't want you to get hurt, right? They
Just
don't
to
want you
get hurt or
maybe,
to outgrow them. So
That definitely is
so,
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Because
surround
now you
yourself.
take away all their excuses. In other words, the day that you publish your book, you took away all the excuses of every single person that knew you,
Well,
that said they had a book and they didn't write it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I actually didn't.
Some of them you inspired.
I didn't keep myself open to those people.
Exactly.
So,
But some of them maybe they got inspired and they said, well, if she did it,
right.
now I'm going to go
Well,
do it, right?
everybody has a story.
Yes,
everybody
everyone.
has something powerful to share. We
Yes.
may all have different talents and different insights, and that's why it does take a village. So we need to share that with each other so we can uplift humanity together. So if you have a book in mind, or if you have a blog you want to write, or if you just want to go out and preach to the homeless, or have a conversation with adolescents, then please do so. Do so responsibly, because you do have that responsibility to humanity.
Exactly. So make the decision, and let's
Yes.
delve into your foundation. Okay.
Okay.
But this is something very interesting. Not every day you talk to somebody that has their own foundation. So how did that happen? What do you guys do with it? You know. So
Okay.
what can you share about that?
Well, I've always been of the mind to serve others and to help those who cannot help themselves. And so my brother was succumbed to prostate cancer, and I've been in dialysis as a dialysis social worker for 16 years. And so a lot of...
Not that you've been in dialysis.
Not
but
that
you
I'm
actually
on
help people.
dialysis,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
I work in dialysis. And so I realized that a lot of these things are preventative. And I took a look around the community, and I didn't see a lot of prevention with prostate cancer, kidney disease, hypertension, and diabetes.
We live in a very reactive society
We do live
now,
in a very
particularly
reactive
in the
society.
health. It's like
Absolutely.
until the doctor doesn't tell you something,
Yes.
then people don't. Okay, so
And
it's
if
very
they
good.
can't cure it, you're, I'm sorry,
Yes.
SOL.
Yes. Yes.
So there wasn't a lot of prevention, and I said, okay, then let's sit down and see what I can do. And so sat down with my accountant, we went over the IRS paperwork, filled it out, and we were granted the 501c3 status very quickly.
Really? Because I
Unusually
heard
quick.
that it's hard.
It's
not
hard,
easy to
and
do,
they
right?
usually come back, but we had ours within 2 months.
Wow.
Within 2 months. And so it just surrounded myself with supportive people again, and we just pursue ways to assist the community in being healthier.
So if somebody wanted to get involved with that, where do they go? What can they do, or how exactly are you helping the community? Are you providing like services, information?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
We partner with the medical clinic to provide free screenings for low-income and underinsured adults
In Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas,
Okay,
at
okay.
high risk for prostate cancer, kidney disease, hypertension, and diabetes.
Oh, wow.
Because with early detection and treatment, they are controllable. Nobody needs to
Oh,
die
wow.
from those diseases. People don't need to have kidney failure and go on dialysis with early prevention and treatment.
Wow.
So I'm very passionate about that because we can control that. And that's one thing we do. We have another program for at-risk students, low-income students. We provide school supplies, sometimes clothing and tutoring and
So
other.
this is unrelated to the health. This is something
Well,
else.
it's health in a different way.
Okay,
Because
okay.
it's health to give these kids a chance at life.
Okay.
Without education,
Yes.
it's very difficult
Absolutely.
to attain.
You don't know what you
anything.
don't know.
You
right?
don't know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again, some of these families, they're low income, they don't have access to health care. So by us providing what the students need to stay involved and focused on school helps the family as well. And overall, it's going to help society.
Exactly.
It will definitely help society. So that's one of our programs. Another program is we sponsor free breast massages for low-income breast cancer patients.
Oh, wow.
And we've partnered with licensed and trained therapists to provide that kind of massage because it helps break down scar tissue after surgeries and
wow,
relieve
okay.
pain. So that's also very important as well. And you know, we do individual things when something comes up and people will write in. So anyone who is interested in joining us as volunteers, because Glen Alex Foundation is operated by volunteers with full-time careers, including myself.
Okay.
So I work a lot at night and on the weekends on the foundation. But please contact us at galexfoundation.org and contact me that way, and I will be in touch.
That's fantastic. So you're helping men, women, and
Children,
children. Wow,
yes.
that is fabulous. And all that because she made a decision,
I
right?
made a decision.
It's so interesting. I just find it so interesting because it's so easy to complain, right?
It's so
people
easy to complain.
People complain. Say, well, don't complain. Do something
Do
about it,
something.
right?
And
Right.
what's sad for me is every person has the ability to make a difference. Decide to do that. Find out what your niche is. Make that decision, and then go for it. And the universe is so perfect that it will bring what you need, the tools and resources you need to assist you along the way. You have to decide, though. It starts with choice.
Exactly, and you don't have to start a foundation. You can help a foundation, right?
Yes,
So,
exactly.
so it's like if there's a passion that you have, or if there's an area that you said, I don't like the way this is happening in our society,
Let's see
whatever.
what I can do.
Instead of just putting on Facebook or playing all day long, it's like people fighting with strangers on Facebook. I go like, I'm not gonna fight with you just because we don't agree on. So I don't even know if you're real, you know. It's like just because they have a profile doesn't mean they're
Right.
real.
It's
You know,
spam
I'm not
bot,
going to
you
fight.
know.
But instead, let's say, so what can we do?
Right.
Let me do something,
Do
and then there
something.
might be somebody that started a foundation.
Yes.
And if there's not one, then you may say, why not? You know, why
Yeah.
not me, right?
Right, because we can, all foundations actually, all charities can use volunteers.
Exactly.
And everyone has a different level of expertise. You may be very tech-wise, and we could use tech support. We could
Exactly.
use hands-on at events, and we can use people to help with fundraising. So there is something for you
There's
to
something
do.
for you to do. And by the way, if you have children, if you have grandkids, you know, whatever, what a great thing
Oh,
to
that's
do.
awesome,
It's
yes.
just to volunteer with your kids.
Yes.
And we've done a lot of volunteer work here in town, and it's something when I see people coming with the kids or
Yeah.
whatever, you just engage them at an early age
Yes.
that, hey, you can make a difference. You,
You
can
can
do
make a
something
difference.
for somebody else. It's very, very powerful.
It's so powerful. It's so powerful and has a huge impact.
So so share a little bit about some of the challenges you went through, whether it was with getting the foundation started, getting your master, some challenges you went through, and how did you overcome those, right? Because I'm sure you have some, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but it's like you have some strategies, because you're very resourceful.
There are
You're a very
a ton
resourceful
of
woman for
difficulties.
sure.
I'm trying to figure out which
Pick
one
a
to focus
one
on.
that you can just share, and then maybe they can take action on. You know, one idea that you think
Okay.
they could do. You know.
Okay. Well, the one that popped into my mind was attaining my master's degree. I was living in Southeast Texas at the time,
Okay.
and I commuted 100 miles each way to University of Houston.
Wow.
Yes, for 2
Wow.
years.
Oh my
To
God.
get my master's degree. It was a pain in the patootie because the road.
Literally.
Literally.
Right, yeah.
Because you know the traffic and when it rains in Houston, it is no joke.
Yeah,
The
the
flooding-
humidity and the
the
humidity.
humidity too, but the
yes,
flooding
boy.
with rain in Houston is immense, and it's very, very scary. So that was a challenge to go every week. And I had classes 2 to 3 days per week. I would work part-time. I was married at the time.
So you
that
were
was
basically
also-
commuting. You were
I
a
was
few days
commuting.
in one town and a
Yes,
couple of days on the
yes,
other one.
yes.
Okay.
So
okay.
the challenge was staying committed and balancing those different aspects of my life. My commitment to my goal, again, once I made the decision to get the master's degree, there was a university in the town where I lived in, but they didn't offer the master's that I wanted. And so I said, well, I'll do it. I will do it. And so to help me through that process, of course, my husband was supportive. I had friends who were supportive. I made friends in Houston who I shared housing with, and that helped. So again, we always come back
And
to
the power of
supportive
community,
people.
power of
It takes a
community,
village.
right?
It definitely
It's
takes
so
a village.
interesting.
It
Yeah.
does. But again, once you make that decision, the commitment comes with it.
I'm glad you mentioned
Yes.
that. Yeah. Yeah, that's so powerful because commitment, and you mentioned that many times in
Yes.
our interview. It's like
Yeah.
you make a decision, but then you stay committed.
You stay
to
committed.
that decision,
How
right?
many people
Very
do
powerful.
you know who make a
Yes.
decision and don't follow through on it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
3 days later. It
3
was
days
like, you
later,
know,
yeah.
And usually it's because they think it was going to be easier.
Or yes.
Okay, usually, and then they
It was
find out
just
it was
gonna
not,
happen,
you
yeah.
know. So it's like you have to, when you make a decision, you have to say, I'm gonna see. But see, now it's like you have your masters. Nobody can take that
Right,
away from
right.
you. So who cares that you drove so long, or people say, oh, it's gonna cost me so much in gas or whatever,
Yes.
right? It's
And
like
time away from home and
exactly, and it's been said that people overestimate what they could do in 1 year,
yes.
right? And they underestimate what they could do in a decade, right?
Yes.
And a decade is going to go just like that. But we're running out of time. We have one more segment. Okay, so come back, manifestingyourdreams.net. Go there, sign up as a VIP, and we have a couple of tickets. Social media show
Yes.
today, if you're watching this live, is giving away 2 tickets for the Vegas show,
Okay,
right?
awesome.
And by the way, we
Take
can win
me.
2. We can win 2, right? Or you can take us, and also 2 tickets for the breakfast. So make sure you follow the instructions right there. We're gonna be right back. Don't go anywhere. And remember, you are going to manifest your dreams, so we could have you on the show too.
Yes.
So, all right? We'll be right back.
Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything you want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. We've reached the age of live streaming on social media shows. You may ask, we're already ahead of the curve, so why do you need to advertise with us? Well, only 8% of the businesses in the US are using digital advertising to grow their business. That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations. So get your brand ready for digital monetization, for we are looking for sponsors, which will bring more traffic to your business and ultimately mean more sales. So let's bring the world to you. Inquire now.
Social media shows
is about
branding and opportunity.
And outreach
We are an entertainment company that empowers others.
by promoting and supporting our community and everyone who reaches our content.
here on social media shows.
Here we're a family.
We are family. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. We are family.
We are family.
We are family. We are family.
we are family.
We are family, and we want you to be part of our social media shows family.
Welcome back. We're here in Manifesting Your Dreams. We're manifestingyourdreams.net, and today we're talking about the power of decision. And Bo, we have a special guest today. She really has taken to heart the power of decision and making commitments. So from very, very difficult upbringing, being the youngest of 10 kids in a very poor neighborhood, okay, she made a decision that she didn't want that life of gangs and so forth. You know, it was very interesting when the first time I visited Washington, D.C., okay, I was a teenager. I came to the U.S. in an exchange student program. And then we went to see, you know, all the good things about Washington, but we also visited the ghetto and things like that. And I met people that were third generation on welfare, right? And I was a teenager, right? But it was like 3 generations on welfare, right? And you know why? Because nobody made the decision to get out, right? It was like, hey, this is the way you do things and whatever. And it really touched my heart. So wherever you are today is irrelevant. Wherever you are today, in your relationship, in your work, where you are today is the end result of the decisions you made in the first part of your life, right?
Right.
Where we going? Where you going? Okay, it could be totally different. If you make a decision, we talk about stay committed to that decision through thin and thick, because the process is not going to be the way you expected, or maybe it is. We don't know, but more than likely you will have problems that you didn't anticipate it. And then Glenn mentioned many times something that is very important to bring up, which is the power of community, right? Is the power of community. Is if you look at people that have been very successful, whether they're in the arts, in science, or in business, in sports, right? Sometimes we celebrate the individual achievement, right? But when you really get to know these people, you find there's a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people supporting that achievement that so many times they don't get the credit they deserve, right? So you want to align yourself with people that have similar values, that have similar outcomes, that actually empower you
and
versus
not bring you
disempower
down.
you, because
Yes.
so many times, you know, it is sad, but people, sometimes it's family, right? They go like, they're just pinching you, like, you know, like, oh, I thought you were going to stop smoking. What happened? You know, and it's like,
I knew you couldn't do it.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know if this is true or not on goal setting, but they say if you have a goal of achieving something, only tell the people that you know that will support you.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because some people say, go and tell everybody,
Yes.
make a commitment,
Yes.
right? It's a, but that doesn't work very well, right? And if you have a goal of stop doing something, right? Stop doing something.
Yes.
Then you tell the people that are not going to support you, because sometimes just to prove them wrong, you're going to make it happen. So I thought that was kind of like interesting.
Well, and it's interesting that you say that, because the three people who encouraged me for years to write a book are the only three people I told I was writing a book.
There you go.
I didn't tell anyone else until the final draft was done.
See, there's a clue right there.
Yes, yes. And they would check in from time to time, say, how's it going? What do you need to finish this and this and this and this? And they were super supportive. And so the people that I didn't tell were very surprised.
They were surprised. Oh my God, how did that happen? You didn't give me a chance to put you down through the process.
Exactly. So all they could say,
you just sneak it in,
I
right?
did.
Oh
I
my
did.
God,
And so all they
that's
could say was, "Oh, congratulations."
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's
So,
very powerful.
I
Yeah.
totally agree. If you need to share them, be very careful with who you share with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because not everybody has your best interest in mind,
No,
right?
they don't. They don't. And
Yeah.
then another thing I want to say, based on something you said earlier, is if you think making decisions is difficult, it's not as difficult as you think, because if you're not making a decision to do or to stop, you're making a decision to stay.
It is made anyway.
No decision
Yes.
is a decision.
That's right.
So you're making a decision. Why not make the most beneficial one to yourself, your family, and to humanity?
You're so correct on that. You're just deciding to stay the way you are.
You make
know?
yes. You choose the status quo.
So, in a previous lifetime, you were very focused on your massage and so forth,
Yes,
right? Massage therapy,
yes.
and now we're moving into another direction, and you will share with our viewers how they can contact you, be part of that. But you share something very interesting, because tennis, I followed tennis when I was a young kid.
Oh.
Growing up in Argentina, Guillermo Villas was like a big
Yes.
deal and so
Now
forth, right?
Del Potro.
Yes, now Del Potro,
Yes.
exactly. So you actually do, you still do your massage to two of the biggest tournaments in the country. So how did that happen? I mean, that's something like, you go like I said, man, I'm sure there are a lot of people that would like to be part of that, and you are one of the few. So maybe share that. That's something else that you wanted to do. How you manifested that?
It's an absolute privilege to work with world-class athletes and at two of the biggest tournaments in the country or in the world on the tour. After graduating from massage school, it took me a few years to discover my niche, and one of the people who I admire the most and who supported me, she was actually an instructor in school. She invited me to work at, we had a professional tennis tournament here in Las Vegas in 2006.
Okay.
She invited me to work that tournament. I said yes. I fell in love, and so the director of the massage department invited me back the following 2 years that the tournament was in town, and then when that tournament left, I said, I want to keep doing this.
Okay.
And so I contacted.
You decided.
I decided I wanted to continue doing that.
Yes.
And then the how came after.
Oh wow.
The how came after. So I contacted those in charge at these two different tournaments. And,
Which are the tournaments?
Indian Wells, which is in March of every year, and it's huge. It's beautiful environment, and just all of the top tennis players go there.
Wow.
And then Cincinnati as well, and it's the
In
same.
Ohio.
In Ohio,
Okay.
Cincinnati, Ohio. And so after I contacted the people in charge, sent them my resume and my credentials, they said, yes, come on board.
Wow.
And so the action I took after the decision has led me to enjoying that environment.
That is fantastic.
Learning along the way for 11 years.
Wow. So
Yeah.
twice a year for 11 years.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
Amazing. How many people maybe said, I want to do it, but I'm not going to be selected, and why send the application,
Yes.
whatever. And like you said, if they made a decision, not to participate,
Not to
but not
participate.
making the decision to do it,
yes.
right?
I actually was invited to speak in front of a sports massage class a couple of years ago, and went through, explained to them the process of how I was able to work on tour. And all of them wanted the job right out of school. I'm like, no, you have to get experience, you have to learn customer service, you have to do this and do that. And the expressions on their faces were disappointing, because it was like, no, I want it to come easy. I
need it right now. I want it.
Yes.
I want that cookie right now.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So after the decision, there is some energy and effort and time you have to put into making your dreams come true. It's just not going to fall in your lap, as Stephen J. Covey said.
So I'm not just going to close my eyes
Yeah.
and just make my order with
You know
the
what?
universe.
If
and
that worked, I'd be a billionaire.
Yes, right. It's great. So Glen, our viewers had a great time, learning about you. So how they can contact you, stay in contact with you, get your book, whatever, if you have any way you
Well,
can
let
share.
me say that this has been an absolute pleasure. Pablo and his energy is just off the charts, and it's amazing, and it's warm, and it's inviting. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You can contact me, order the book off of livingintotalhealth.com. It's also available on Amazon. However, if you order it on Amazon, it won't be signed.
Okay, so you will autograph the book if they go to your website.
Order it from the website, it will be
All right.
signed. I'll autograph it before it ships.
Okay.
And right now I'm offering free shipping, so.
Free shipping too.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Wow, that's great.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So what is next? Where is Glen Alex going on the next 5 years, 10 years? Where do you see yourself? What decisions are you making for the future?
The decision I have made is to focus on speaking and coaching.
Okay.
I want to reach more people. Massage is great. Massages serve me well, but it's one person at a time.
Yes.
I want to.
And then physically demanding too.
It's very
Right?
physically demanding. I really want to help people be their best. I want people to achieve their optimal level of health, and I want the world to be a better place. I want us to be more nurturing, be more loving, be more kind to each other, and I believe health is the path to that. And so it is my goal to assist as many people as I can reach.
And I also like what you said about health is not just the physical part, right? There's
Yes.
different levels.
Yes.
So maybe you can share about that.
Health, total health, true health, involves the whole person. It's not just the body, it's not just diet and exercise. Total health, true health includes you physically, you mentally, you emotionally, and you spiritually. Just think about all the people you know who have failed with dieting, all the people you know who have failed to follow through on a decision. It's those other missing components that we tend to ignore: the mindset, the emotional awareness and acuity, and my beliefs and values. Are they aligned with what I say I want and the decisions I make on a daily basis? So total health is very involved, and it requires you to pay attention to all of you.
Exactly, and we have to be proactive. Okay,
Yes.
we have to be proactive.
Yes.
So we live in a society where right now you have to become your own health coach. You can't just depend on the doctor
You
telling you
cannot.
what to
You
do or
cannot.
whatever, But the resources are available. Okay,
There are a lot of resources
there's
out
people
there.
like Glen that has dedicated her life to
Yes.
finding out things that work,
Yes.
putting it together in a book,
Yes.
share it in your seminars, whatever. So you can invite Glen to speak if you have an organization, an event that she could benefit. Because we want you to be healthy. Because you know what? Healthy people
Yes.
are able to manifest their dreams with less pain
Yes.
than unhealthy people,
And
right?
may I add one more thing?
Yes.
Okay, go to the website, livingintotalhealth.com, join our email list, and then I will offer you a complimentary 30-minute health and wellness consultation.
Check that out. That's fantastic. And no charge.
No charge.
Any of our viewers.
Yes.
So if you're a viewer
Just
of
for
manifesting your
viewers.
dreams, there you go. Well, it's been a total pleasure.
Oh my
I'm
God,
so
this is-
glad you
pleasure's all
came.
mine.
We really have a blast right here. Hopefully you got some ideas. Hopefully we inspire you so you could say, you know what, let me just step
Yes.
it up a notch. Okay, there's more in me. I can make things
Yes.
happen. It could be a relationships, it could be business, it could be
anything.
career or anything, because there's people that are manifesting the dreams, right? And you'll find out they're not different than you. We all go through different challenges and so forth, but there are certain things that we have in common, certain things that we do,
Yes.
right? Whether we know them or not. And that's why we want to inspire you. So we're going to be next week with another guest. Go to manifestingyourdreams.net if you're not a VIP with us yet. And if you're one of the winners of the social media shows today, if you win the buffet, don't eat too much, okay? Or if you eat too much, what it says, just enjoy it with no
Right.
guilt. But then you want to get in total health starting tomorrow. So we'll see you next week. You can watch this again, share it with your friends, and go and manifest your dream. Have a fantastic day, and God bless you. Bye-bye.